Hello, everyone. Happy Thursday. Welcome, everyone, to my next guest quest. Here we are. I am Lisa Wade, for those who don't know me. I'm a legal nurse consultant, and I am the owner of Wade Nurse Consultants. Visit us at wadenurseconsultants.com when you have tons of medical records you need reviewed and translated into normal human language. But I am also a podcast host. For my podcast, Should You Take That Case? And I'm here looking for attorneys to interview on my podcast. If you haven't heard, I have been showing up via LinkedIn Live every day this week, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, giving out all of the details about my podcast and how you can be one of my attorney guests in 2023. So if you're out there, thank you for coming. And let me just let you know the goal of our podcast. It's to be a resource for legal professionals who pursue medical or medically related cases by sharing their experiences and insights as personal injury, med mal, workers' comp, disability, plaintiff or defense, or even criminal attorneys. Doesn't matter as long as you have managed or handled medical records as part of your cases, you definitely qualify to be a future guest on our podcast. So, if you've been tuning in every day this week at 10 a.m., I want you to come prepared with your questions about the podcast. Questions like, what's it going to be like? What can we do to prepare ahead of time? Can we prepare ahead of time for this interview? And where can I check out past episodes or past guests? Well, I'm going to be answering all of those questions today. I've been doing, and I'll do it tomorrow too, around 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So you can watch us live or catch the replay and enter all of those questions into the comments. Maybe I can answer them live today, or I can answer them on our next show, which will be our last show, which is tomorrow, Friday at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So get those questions all ready. But while you're getting your questions ready, let's scoot over to the comments section and see if there's anybody visiting us live or on the replay. Just add some likes, some hearts, some emojis, anything into the comments so we can see you and say hello to you. And thanks for coming. If you're an attorney, put an A into that comments box. If you're a paralegal, put a P. If you're an entrepreneur of any kind, put an E inside of that comments box. But put a W if you are a member of Women Owned Law. Yes, that is an organization that I'm a part of and I enjoy. Women Owned Law, it is a groundbreaking group created to connect and advance women legal entrepreneurs and those who want to support those entrepreneurs. But the primary mission is to empower women lawyers to achieve success in the business of law. Does that sound good to you? Does that sound like something you want to be a part of? Are you interested? Then just go to womenownedlaw.org to learn more. I hope to see you there. And again, thank you everybody for spending time out of your very, very busy days to take a listen to us today. It is much appreciated. Again, I am your host, Lisa Wade. I'll tell you again, I'm a legal nurse consultant, owner of Wade Nurse Consultants, but I am also the creator of a special group here on LinkedIn, the Attorney Medical Record Resource Group. That is where I get all of the attorneys that I interview on my podcast. They all come from that group. I'm going to put the link up there. But if that's a group that you want to explore, find out more about, I'm a giant resource inside of that group for questions about medical terminology. Just visit us or drop me a message via LinkedIn and I'll send you a link to join. All right. And let me tell you a little bit more about the Attorney Medical Record Resource Group. It is a community resource for your medical record and medical terminology questions. And we, again, that's me, I will answer questions and provide expert clinical insights into the sometimes obscure and confusing world of medical records. The records that come with litigation caseloads that include medical or nursing malpractice, general personal injury, products liability, criminal cases, toxic tort or environmental cases, or any kind of case that contains medical or nursing concerns like workers' comp, Medicare fraud, or probate issues. And joining the Attorney Medical Record Resource Group, our very private group in LinkedIn, is the only thing that is requested or required to be an attorney guest on my podcast, because all of our attorney guests are group members. So I did give you that link. And if you can't get there and you want to talk to me more about the group, just message me via LinkedIn or email me. Where is my email? Lisa at wadenurseconsultants.com. If you join that group, that is a good way to find and meet past guests on the podcasts, to catch replays of the podcast. All of it lives inside of this private group, but there are other ways. And I'm going to give you those steps. Just 3 steps to becoming a part of our podcast. So those steps are coming up shortly, and it's easy peasy, let me tell you. So before I give you those 3 steps to join and be a part of, be my next attorney guest on Should You Take That Case, I am waiting to get any questions that you have. Filter them into the comments section and I will answer them live or on the replay. And while you're getting your questions together and getting ready to put them in the comments box, I am going to just take a small sponsor break and let you know a little bit about Wade Nurse Consultants and what we do here. Now, without a review and summary of the medical records, it could be harder for an attorney to know if they should take that case. And here at Wade Nurse Consultants, we give attorneys a 1 to 2 page synopsis and opinion regarding the merits of those medically related cases, by using my 30 plus years of nursing experience to make quick work of medical case screenings. So if you are watching this and you have a backlog of case screenings on your desk, this is what you need to do. Right now, we are offering a free 20-minute medical record strategy call to help you hone an efficient, timely, and a cost-effective routine around handling your medical records. So If that's something that interests you, add an M to the comments box and I will reach out to you for a consultation, or you can email me, Lisa at WadeNurseConsultants.com. We'd love to hear from you. Now let's scoot over to our comment section, see if there's any questions for our Q&A yet. And I'm looking and not yet. Okay. I'm still waiting. You still can ask me all of those questions, but right now I can scoot over and let you know real quick the 3 steps to becoming a guest on our podcast should you take that case. And here, it's pretty easy. Step number 1, watch the podcast. You can get a good look at it and decide if it is a good fit for you. So you can do that several ways. One, you can visit my YouTube channel, Lisa Wade LNC. You can see all of the past episodes, all of the past guests there, and just take a look and see if this is a good fit for you, this podcast. But you could also catch us on Spotify. I may add that link a little later into the comments section. But we're on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, and several others. But you can take a look and, like I said, see what it is like being part of this podcast. So that's step number 1. Step number 2, join the group. I told you about the Attorney Medical Record Resource Group. That is really the biggest part about being on this podcast and getting interviewed, because all of my attorney guests are members of this group. It's very private inside of LinkedIn, the Attorney Medical Record Resource Group. If you think that you want to be on the show and you want to find out more about this group, just message me, like I said, through LinkedIn or through my email, Lisa at WadeNurseConsultants.com, and you can learn more about this private group. And the last thing, and that, like I said, it's pretty easy. The last step to becoming part of this group, or part of the to get interviewed on the podcast, is drop an I inside the comments box. I for interested in the comments box. Or, like I said, email me at Lisa at WadeNurseConsultants.com. It's pretty easy. It's, like I said, easy peasy, lemon squeezy. It can't get any easier to be a part of this, my next guest quest. So let me check again. Are there any questions? Do you have any burning questions? Comments? Nope, not yet. But I can tell you, I can answer questions that I have heard about concerns attorneys have about being on this podcast. And one is, how can I prepare for it ahead of time? And what happens is I will send you an email with all of the guest instructions, questions or interview questions, and things like that, 1 to 2 weeks before the show day. So you definitely would have time to prepare. You'll have my contact information in that email. So if any questions pop up, you can always just ask me, and I can give you those answers. And let's see, I'm still checking. I don't see any other questions in the comments, so I think we're going to wind up this episode of our next guest quest. But you can tune in tomorrow. That's going to be our last day, Friday at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you want to explore becoming my next attorney guest on Should You Take That Case, I look forward to seeing you tomorrow, and have a wonderful, wonderful Thursday.